Councilman Schutz who we're missing. Councilman Schutz who we're missing. Okay. I didn't think so, but I wanted to give you the. Oh, Steve, you're holding up the show.
Of course.
All right, it's 7:02 in the city of Gardner, so we're going to call Gardner City Council to order. Would invite everyone to please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're going to begin this evening with a proclamation. Some of you may have noticed all the boys in blue in the back. Well, I guess that's blue. Officers, we're glad to see you here this evening. Come on up and join us around the dais here. Hey, Kurt Hollings, Chief. Come on. Kurt, you can still see the room from up here. And it's nice to be here with these nice guys. Lynn Atchison, who's pulled me over before. Jay Belcher, who's responded to an emergency call and helped my father when he was having respiratory distress. And I did a ride-along with Sergeant Hollingshead. And I know virtually all of you have had some kind of hand in the recently formed Citizens Police Academy. And I want to thank y'all for that. I think we've got some people that were graduates of the academy that are on hand this evening. But it is Police Week, and we're going to recognize Police Week and Peace Officers Memorial Day. And I took a drink of water before I got up here so that I can get all the way through this proclamation without spitting foam. So, with no further ado, whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agencies, and that all members of the Gardner Police Department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. Whereas the members of the Gardner Police Department are known for their devotion and dedication to the preserving of the peace and safety of every man, woman, and child living in our fine city, and whereas the police officers in Gardner, Kansas are engaged in a difficult and sometimes dangerous profession, which at times can lead to injury or even death, and whereas author Edmund Burke once stated, "All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing." The police officers of Gardner, Kansas unceasingly provide a vital public service to ensure we do sleep peacefully at night. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Chris Morrow, Mayor of the City of Gardner, Kansas, do hereby proclaim May 11th through the 17th, 2014 as Police Week, and May 15th, 2014 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in the City of Gardner, Kansas, and urge all citizens to reflect on the ways in which our lives have been touched by the peace officers who stand guard over our neighborhoods, and to participate in the tribute to the memory of those officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. So, gentlemen, thank you all so much for everything that you do. give him a round of applause. Lynn, I will always mention that you have pulled me over before. Next item on the agenda is public comments. And before I go through my usual spiel, we've got extra members in the audience tonight. For those of you who haven't been here to witness public comments, we're going to invite you to come forward and to make comments directed about matters in the city. I would advise everyone that these are generally comments that you are making to us. They're not generally, and we try and refrain from them being interactive conversations. So, with that being said, members of the public are welcome to use this time to make comments about city matters or items on the agenda that are not part of a public hearing. Anyone that's interested in making public comments, I ask you to step to the podium. Please state your name and address for the record and be heard.
I'm David Despard. I live at 628 East Hawthorne here in Gardner. I'm a little upset with Gardner because I think they've got more important things to do than to write people up for having a trailer on a driveway when it looks good. I know it's against your city code, but I think something needs to be done about that because they look a heck of a lot better on a driveway than they do in the side yard or the backyard. There's a lot of houses out here that have grass 2 foot tall that haven't even mowed this year, and I bet not half of them been written up for that. There's a trailer that's been sitting on 184th Street, just off Spruce up there all winter. I almost hit it with a school bus because I couldn't see it in the snow. It hadn't been written up. I have mine this year, and I use it for a mowing business. It moves almost daily, and I get cited, and that's not right. And I would like something changed about it, and you guys are the ones that have the power, and ladies, to do it, because as long as it don't look bad, it shouldn't be a problem. I built my house with a 3rd-car garage for this purpose. And, you know, I've got 2 cars, a motorcycle, and the trailer. And it hadn't looked bad, and my neighbors are ticked because it's sitting in the side yard now. And how would you like my trailer sitting beside your house? That isn't right. And there's more important things around here to do. Is I've talked to the chief over here before. We got a known drug house on Cedar. It's been busted twice. And for whatever reason, I don't see the cars being pulled over. They ought to be pulling every car that comes out there. We've tried now for probably 4 or 5 years to get that place stopped. And that's a heck of a lot more important than a dang trailer. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Bruce Hughes. I live at 322 East Colleen Drive, which is where I lay my head down at night to sleep. That's where I live with my wife. It's where my son comes home from college when he's done with school. It's where I eat my evening meals. I wish to speak on the issue of Councilman Fodovich no longer residing in the city. And we've heard the endless attempts at rationalizations, justifications. Well, he owns property still. Property ownership doesn't define residency. If that was the case, out-of-state people renting property, having ownership of rental property, would be eligible for city council. We've heard that, oh, these kids go to school in the district. School district doesn't define the city. I don't see a lot of excuses for Edgerton people to come serve on the Gardner City Council. But they're going to school in the city. The issue is really quite simple. Mr. Fodovich